Surface Chemistry Part 2. It deals with catalysis. We should try to understand what catalysis is. Catalysis is the process of modifying a chemical reaction with the use of a catalyst. This can be well understood by this common example. Potassium chlorate on heating in presence of manganese dioxide gives potassium chloride and oxygen gas. Here, the rate of decomposition of potassium chlorate increases with the addition of MnO2. Here, MnO2 acts as catalyst. So, simply we can say catalysis is nothing but chemical reaction that occurs in the presence of catalyst. In this session, we are going to study in detail about catalysis. Catalysis means reaction that occurs in the presence of catalyst. Learning objectives are important terms associated with catalysis, homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis, adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis, important features of solid catalyst, enzyme catalysis, characteristics of enzyme catalysis, mechanism of enzyme catalysis, and finally use of catalyst in. Now some important terms associated with catalysis. Catalyst, a substance which can change or alter the speed of a chemical reaction without itself undergoing any change in its mass and chemical composition. Catalysts are of two types, positive catalyst and negative catalyst. Positive catalysts are the catalysts that increases or accelerates the speed of reaction. For example, invertase enhances reaction of sucrose to form glucose and fructose, whereas zymase enhances the enzymatic reaction of glucose to form ethanol and carbon dioxide. Negative catalyst, on the other hand, it decreases, or we can say retards or slow downs the speed of a chemical reaction. For example, hydrogen peroxide, if kept, it gets decomposed into water and oxygen. But this decomposition can be prevented in the presence of glycerol or acetinolide. So here glycerol and acetinolide, they act as negative catalyst. Promoters and poisons play important role in the activity of catalyst. First, we should know what promoters are. Promoters are substances which themselves are not catalyst, but when mixed in small quantities with the catalyst, increases their efficiency. It means promoters enhances the activity of a catalyst, whereas on the other hand, poisons are substances which destroy the activity of catalyst by their presence. It means the poisons decreases the activity of catalyst. This can be well understood with this reaction. In Haber's process, nitrogen combines with hydrogen to give ammonia, and the catalyst used is iron. Now the activity of catalyst changes due to the presence of molybdenum. Here molybdenum acts as promoter and enhances the activity of catalyst, resulting in increase in the rate of formation of ammonia. On the other hand, carbon monoxide, its presence acts as poison because it forms a complex with iron, which decreases the activity of catalyst. Now, as already discussed, Catalysis means reaction that occurs in the presence of catalyst. There are two different types of catalysis, homogeneous catalysis and heterogeneous catalysis. Let us try to understand what homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis are. Homo means same. So, in homogeneous catalysis, the reactant involved in reaction and the catalyst are in same phase. Point to be noted, reactant and catalyst, they are in the same phase. Whereas in heterogeneous catalysis, hetero means different. So it's very clear, the reactant involved in the reaction and the catalyst are in different phases. Here we can see in the lead chamber process, sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen gas in presence of NO gas to give SO3 gas. Here catalyst NO and the reactant SO2 and O2 are in the same phase, that is gas. Hence it is an example of homogeneous catalysis. Similarly, in hydrolysis of ester, reactant and catalyst are in the same phase. In hydrolysis of sugar, again sucrose and water along with the catalyst H2SO4, they are in the same phase. Here are some examples of heterogeneous catalysis. Sulfur dioxide gas reacts with oxygen in presence of platinum and vanadium pentaoxide to give SO3. Here we can see that sulfur dioxide and oxygen are in gaseous state, whereas platinum and vanadium pentaoxide, they are solid. It means reactant and catalyst are in different phase. So it's an example of heterogeneous catalysis. Moreover, SO2 and O2, they react to give SO3. It can be example of both homogeneous as well as heterogeneous catalysis depending upon the phase of catalyst. In Haber's process, nitrogen and hydrogen are gas, whereas the catalyst iron is in solid phase. Similarly, in Ostwald process, ammonia and oxygen gas, they react in the presence of catalyst platinum, which is in solid state. So these are the examples of heterogeneous catalysis. Adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis. The mechanism involves following 5 steps. Number 1, diffusion of reactant to the surface of catalyst. This is the first step. Adsorption of reactant molecules on the surface of catalyst. This is the second step. Occurrence of chemical reaction on the catalyst surface through formation of an intermediate is the third step, and here chemisorption is involved. Desorption of reaction products from the catalyst surface and thereby making the surface available again for more reaction to occur. As we had already studied, desorption means removal of adsorbate from the surface of adsorbent. And last step, diffusion of reaction product away from the catalyst surface. Adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis can be understood with the diagram. So now let's start with adsorption of reacting molecules, formation of intermediates and desorption of product with the help of this diagram. Here we can see this blue arrow represents the catalyst surface having free valency, whereas this second orange arrow, it represents the reacting molecules A and B. Now, Adsorption of reacting molecule takes place on the surface of catalyst. In the next step, we can see that there is formation of reaction intermediate, and finally there is desorption of product molecule, and the product moves away from the surface of catalyst, and the surface is again available for the catalytic process. Here we can see A plus B. This was the reacting molecule. Now it has got converted into product AB. Solid catalysts, they have certain important features. So next we are going to deal with important features of solid catalyst like activity, selectivity and shape selective catalysis. These are three important features of the solid catalyst. Now let us try to understand the important features of solid catalyst one by one. The first one is activity. The activity of a catalyst depends upon the strength of chemisorption to a large extent. The reactant must get adsorbed reasonably strongly onto the catalyst to become active. And for this, surface area needs to be increased. Hence, surface area can be increased either by desorption, that is removal of adsorbate from the surface of adsorbent by increasing the temperature. Secondly, finely dividing the catalyst, because when catalysts are finely divided, their surface area increases, and more the surface area, more is the rate of adsorption. The second important feature of solid catalyst is selectivity. The selectivity of a catalyst is its ability to direct a reaction to yield a particular product selectively when under the same reaction conditions many products are possible. Or we can say the ability of catalyst to direct a reaction to yield a particular product. This can be very well understood with the following example. Here we can see carbon monoxide gas reacts with 3 molecules of hydrogen gas in presence of nickel as catalyst to give methane gas and water. Here, point to be remembered, in presence of nickel as a catalyst, the product is methane. Secondly, again, carbon monoxide is reacting with 2 molecules of hydrogen. Reactant are same, but in the presence of copper, zinc oxide and Cr2O3, the product obtained is methanol. Due to the change of catalyst, the product has changed. It means catalyst, they are selective in nature. Third example, again carbon monoxide with hydrogen reacts in presence of copper to give methanol. So these are the 3 examples where we see that the reactant is same, but in presence of 3 different catalysts, the product obtained are different. This is known as selectivity. Shape selective catalysis. The catalytic reactions that depends upon the pore structure of catalyst and the size of reactant and product molecules is called shape selective catalysis. ZSM5, which is known as zeolite shape of molecular porosity 5. It converts alcohol directly into gasoline, that is petrol. Zeolites, this is another example of shape selective catalysis. They are being widely used as catalyst in the petrochemical industry. Here, this is the figure showing the shape of zeolite. Now we need to learn what enzymes are, because enzymes are also catalysts. Only the difference lies that it works in the body of living organism to catalyze various biochemical reactions. Enzymes are complex nitrogenous organic compounds which are produced by living plants and animals, also known as biocatalysts. So next topic is enzyme catalysis. Enzyme catalysis is the catalysis in which enzyme acts as a catalyst. Here we can see some enzymatic reactions in the table given below. The first column has got name of various enzymes, second sources, and third enzymatic reactions. The source of enzyme invertase and zymase is yeast. Invertase acts on sucrose to convert it into glucose and fructose, whereas zymase works on glucose to convert it into ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. In the other case, we can see diastase. Source is malt and it converts starch into maltose. Maltase, source is yeast, it converts maltose into glucose. Urease, source is soybean, which converts urea into ammonia and carbon dioxide. Pepsin, which we all are aware of, it is present in the stomach and it acts on protein to convert it into amino acids. Characteristics of enzyme catalysis. Number 1, most highly efficient, which means a very small amount of enzyme is capable of catalyzing the reaction. Secondly, highly specific in nature. For example, amylase works only on starch, pepsin works only on protein. They are specific in nature. Highly active under optimum temperature. The optimum temperature range for enzymatic activity is 298 to 310 Kelvin. Human body temperature being 310 Kelvin is suited for enzyme catalyzed reaction. This can be understood in this way. During summer, if we don't keep food material inside, especially cooked food material inside the fridge, they get spoiled readily because of the enzymatic activity. Whereas during winter, if we don't keep the cooked food item in the fridge, it can be there without any spoilage because enzymatic activity is low at low temperature. They are highly active under optimum pH and the pH ranges between 5 to 6. The activity of enzyme increases in the presence of activators and coenzyme and decreases in the presence of inhibitors and poison. While discussing characteristics of enzyme catalysis, we came across few terms like coenzymes, activators, inhibitors or poison. Let us try to understand these terms. Coenzyme is a small non-protein. It can be vitamin, is present along with an enzyme that enhances catalytic activity considerably. Activators are generally metal ions such as sodium ion, manganese ion, cobalt ion or copper ion. These metal ions, when weakly bonded to enzyme molecules, increase their catalytic activity. For example, amylase in presence of sodium chloride, that is sodium ions, are catalytically very active. अब अपने घर से एक एग्जाम्पल लेना चाहूँगी। आपने अपनी मम्मी को देखा होगा कि आटा गूंथते वक्त वो उसमें चुटकी भर नमक डाल देती हैं, या चावल बनाते वक्त उसमें थोड़ा सा नमक डाल देती हैं। रीज़न, आटा और चावल दोनों में ही स्टार्च प्रेजेंट होता है और स्टार्च को डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए एमाइलेज की ज़रूरत होती है और एमाइलेज की एक्टिविटी सोडियम क्लोराइड की प्रेजेंस में बढ़ जाती है। इनहिबिटर्स और पॉइजन्स, they interact with the active functional groups on the enzyme surface and often reduce or completely destroy the catalytic activity of the enzyme. Now we need to understand mechanism of enzyme catalysis. The enzyme catalyzed reactions may be considered to proceed in two steps as follow. Step 1. Combining of enzyme and reactant together to form enzyme reactant intermediate. Step 2. Disintegration of complex molecule to give the product. Here we can see enzyme reactant intermediate has got converted into enzyme plus product. From this figure, it's very clear lock and key model can be used to explain the mechanism of enzyme catalysis. जैसे एक ताले को खोलने के लिए एक सुटेबल की ज़रूरत होती है। जब तक सुटेबल की लॉक में फिट नहीं होगा, हम लॉक को अनलॉक या लॉक नहीं कर पाएंगे। ठीक वैसे ही इन एंजाइम्स there is active site and the substrate they gets fitted into these active sites and result in the formation of enzyme substrate complex. Finally, the product is formed and enzyme is left unreacted because it has catalyzed the reaction. How catalysts are used in industry. Here, one by one, we can go through the various examples. In Haber's process for manufacture of ammonia, finely divided iron, molybdenum as promoter is used. Condition is 200 bar pressure and 723 to 773 Kelvin temperature. Nowadays, a mixture of iron oxide, potassium oxide and alumina is used. The second example is Oswald's process for the manufacture of nitric acid. Here, platinized asbestos is used as catalyst and the temperature is 573 Kelvin. In the third case, we can see its contact process for the manufacture of sulfuric acid. In this contact process, platinized asbestos or vanadium pentaoxide is used as catalyst and the temperature ranges from 673 to 723 Kelvin. With this, we have covered the topic catalysis. Please, my dear students, don't forget to go through your books. Please read this chapter thoroughly in order to attempt your questions. Thank you. Have a nice day.